Welcome to Wealthing Talks. I am your host, Alicia Castillo Holley, bringing you real life conversations from Silicon Valley or somewhere around the world. We will talk about disruptors, angel investments, venture capital, and of course, family offices. Join me along with my children, their families, friends, disruptors, and investors as we explore the fascinating world of creating wealth in a completely different and authentic way. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Wealthing Podcast. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to introduce you to Prerna. Prerna, thank you so much for being here with us.
I'm very delighted to be on a podcast with you. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we met years
honor for this
ago.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a pleasure. We met years ago, and what she's done is just absolutely amazing. I remember just a lovely day in Delhi, just walking around and just enjoying the city and the little parts that I didn't know. It was just fantastic. So, Prerna, tell us, what are you doing now, and how did you get here? How do you get to do this?
So I started my journey as a journalist. Today I'm running a sustainable tourism company by the name of Ecoplore. And Ecoplore has 1,500 plus eco-friendly hotels across India. And all these hotels are made of local architecture. So they're made of mud, wood, bamboo, stone. They're not cement and brick structures. And also, all these hotels have a minimum of 30% trees inside their campus. Because when we talk about sustainability, trees are the best technology to fight against climate change. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to bring together all the ground level conservationists under one umbrella of Ecoplore and promote sustainable living through the mode of sustainable travel.
And how did you get this idea?
So before starting this, I was a journalist. I also was part of activism and a political party in India, a political startup in India. And in my early life, I got a large exposure of how the system functions. And when I was in my school days, I wanted to bring a change and create impact. And I thought that politics is the best way to do it. And I entered politics with a political startup, and I was like over almost spending 5 to 7 years in journalism and politics. I realized that no, my inner conscience didn't allow me to continue working as a part of a political party, because there were a lot of things which I didn't agree with. And
Mm-hmm.
in 2016, I started my venture Ecoplore. And the reason was that I realized that if I want to work on environment conservation and I want to bring a change, the best way to do it is by becoming a part of demand and supply. So basically, creating demand for something which is pro planet. And since the world is global, it's a total global world, everything is interconnected, and money plays a very big instrument in this world. And despite talking about socialism or communism, every country in the world today is a capitalist country. So I realized that if I become a part of this economic process and use my money to do something good. So I think that was the reason with which I started Ecoplore almost 10 years back.
Wow, and I met you when you were just starting.
Yes,
Such a
yes, yes.
privilege. Yeah, I've seen you grow. What an honor. Um, if you, with what you know now, if you were to write young Perna a letter, what is the things that you would tell her that you have learned that you didn't know? So she would stay true to her essence.
I think one big thing which I actually learned from you while meeting you in person when in India was this imposter syndrome. I didn't even heard the term. I didn't know what it meant, and I realized it was not easy to overcome that. It took
Mhm.
me a lot of time, and still I'm not 100% above it. But it was this lack of self not confidence, but the lack of confidence that yes, I am powerful enough to achieve this. The another thing which was there, because I come from a middle class Indian background, was that money is, once you have money you become bad person, or you become corrupted, or you become like you start doing negative things, or in order to earn money you have to become corrupt. That was the
Mhm.
notion which I had, almost, I will say, 6 8 years back, or even like 2 years back, and gradually it has improved over time. And now I'm in a situation where I realize that yes, I need more money if I really want to bring more change. So that thought process is a big transition in my, I mean, if I had this viewpoint maybe 10 years before, maybe I would have scaled up a little faster. But I think I'm very happy with my journey, because the vision to start Ecoplore was always impact first and commercial second, which it still is. And one more thing that I wanted to make sure that whenever somebody hears the term Ecoplore, it should resonate with sustainability. And I have been able to achieve that. So I'm very happy that my journey has been little slow. It has taken me 10 years to be what I am today, but I'm very satisfied with my journey. Like I don't regret doing anything. Like I'm very happy that whatever I did it at the right time, and I'm not guilty or regretful for anything I did in my life.
No, that's fantastic. What would you tell somebody young listening that you want them to you want to remind them of something that you've learned, an important lesson in your journey, so you can share with others?
I think one that just listen to yourself, listen to what your gut feeling, your inner conscious says. Do not pay a lot of attention to what your, maybe your family, your friends, your partners, like what other people are telling you about you. I like there have been instances in my life where I was told to continue my job and not leave it because I was the sole earning member of my family. But I left my job, the last job I was doing before starting my venture, in a situation where I didn't know anything what I'm going to do next. I had no plans in life, and I just left my job because I couldn't resonate with the work which I was doing there. So I think, especially with women, because men comparatively are more risk taking. They are more, they take their decisions very fast, but women have to listen to their parents, to their partners, to their children if they have. So they are like dependent on other people to take their decisions, and they pay a lot of heed to other people's suggestions and comments. And I think what I did in my life was, I was like, if I am not liking it, if I am not enjoying this, I will not do it. If this is not going along with my ethics and principles in life, I'm not doing it. So I think that thing is something which I want to communicate to other women specifically, because women are brought in a different way. And one more thing which I realized, that while working in the industry of sustainability, that women are by default more sustainable. Like, be it my customers, be it my team members, be it the people I meet working on sustainability, they are mostly women. And the rate is like 80% people in this industry are women, because women by default are nurturers and caregivers. And there's this story I had heard from somewhere, where that if you give a patch of land to a man and a woman, the man will think how much money to make from it, what to build, what industry to make. But the women will think what food to grow, how to nurture the land, how to make it more fertile. And I think with environment, with conservation, with planet, we have many women working in this. And this is my experience in India. I'm sure it is similar worldwide. So, yeah.
It's so interesting that you said that, because when well, I'm a single mom, or I was a divorced mom, but I raised the kids by myself. And I noticed the discrepancy between my daughter and my son growing up. And I was very, as we were speaking before, I was very delusional. I didn't have the imposter syndrome. I had the delusional syndrome. I'm like, oh, I can do this. Oh, we're going to move countries. Oh, piece of cake. And then I got into trouble. Not the bad trouble, but it's like, oh, this is much harder than I thought. And then sometimes it's like, how did I get here? Again, I'm doing this. But I started reading books about socializing, gender socialization, and one thing that, if I may, I want to add to your conversation is when we socialize women and guys differently. So if you, the best example, if you go to a park and there are kids playing, and one kid hits another kid, if the kid being hit is a woman or is a girl, and she goes to the elders or whoever are the caretakers and says, "Hey, somebody hit me," what we usually tell them is, "Oh, they didn't mean it, go and give them a hug." And that is really bad for your control, self-control, and your awareness of who you are, because you were
Yeah.
hit. You don't want to hug anybody that hits you. You want to hit them back. And naturally, you start losing that sense of preservation, and you start putting other people's feelings ahead of you. And that's socialization. That's, in my opinion, that's more socialization than genetics. But if you have a boy and the boy gets hit, what do we tell them? Go and hit them
Go
back.
back.
And so I always told my kids, when I started thinking about that, I always told my kids, "Hey, listen, you have to make sure, both the girl and the boy, you have to make sure you have some balance. So for every girl that cannot throw a punch, there's a boy that cannot shed a tear." So so we usually got home and we would talk about those experiences and what is expected from them. So I think,
Yeah.
socially, we're women are learned to be more compassionate and less competitive, and men are learned to be more competitive, less compassionate. But I think both people are people, and we need to have that balance. We need to be able to stand up and say, that's not, doesn't work for me,
Yeah.
as women. And we need men to be able to sit down and cry and say, "Oh, I made a mistake. I need a hug." And that is actually a change that I see in the younger generation. There's a change definitely that I see in my daughter and her husband, and my son and his wife, and I'm very happy about that. So I wanted to introduce that because I think part of those things are socially constructed. And, as a woman, I know that being very opinionated and, forceful has also gotten me into some heavy discussions about, "Why are you so aggressive?" I'm not being aggressive, I'm being assertive. And I think that fits into the imposter syndrome, because then your whole society is like, "Why are you such a hard person?" I'm not being a hard person. If I were a man, you wouldn't think that way. So why? So I think that's something important to take notice. And I'm sure you've heard so often that you're doing the
Yeah, I
things
think
right.
the way we bring up our children, be it like a boy or a girl, like you mentioned, that the boy needs to be more compassionate and a girl needs to be more courageous or more risk-taking. So we need to have that balance is very, very important. And maybe that's happening in the Gen Z and Gen Alpha and Gen Beta now. So, yeah.
Yes, yes, I see that. I love India, as you know. You can't see my background, but I have a whole bunch of Indian art in my house, and one of my granddaughters loves India. Actually, you went with me to shop some modern Indian
Oh,
clothes for her. Hope, yeah, Hope. Her name is
yes,
Hope,
I
and
remember.
yes, and I still promised to her that I was going to take her to the house that you have. Tell us about the house that you're having now.
So, apart from the 1,500 hotels we have across India, we have this mud house in Delhi NCR by the name of One Bhoj. And this is a 30-year-old mud house which was built by architects Revti and Vasant Kamath, who were India's first architect who 40 years before started to work on sustainable living and sustainable architecture. So, they have done like over 400 sustainable buildings in their 40 years of work, and this was their residence, and each part of this house, each corner has a story to tell. It has so much of detailing, it has so much of, it's a labor of love. There is love, there is passion, there's a lot of positive energy in the house. And from the sustainability perspective, 80% construction of the house has been taken from the campus. The place where it is built, it was a mining area, it was barren and not covered with trees or greenery. So they created an ecosystem where they made 3 to 4 different small water bodies. They did rainwater harvesting, which attracted the birds and the wildlife. And over last 30 years, it became a forest. So it's called rewilding, where you just let the nature take over. And today we have a thriving forest. in the heart of Delhi NCR, surrounded by high rise buildings. Within 500 meters from our house, we have like high rises of 20 floor, 25 floor. But when you come to our mini forest, we have woodpeckers, hornbills, porcupines, mongoose, nilgai, sunbirds, a lot of other butterflies, squirrels, bats, eagles, fireflies, monkeys, squirrels. So it's like a example of if you actually follow the right sustainable measures, and we don't even need to go like we don't need any invention for it. The roots, our 100 years before the lifestyle we led was by default sustainable. So if you just start practicing those things and add some modern technology to it, I mean, this is the like you can create something which is very beautiful. So generally, when we think of mud houses in India, we relate it to kacha construction, like not something which is durable or something which is only a poor man's house. But when you come to our mud house, which you can see in my background, it is an example of how mud houses can also be modern, luxurious, comfortable, hygienic, and it's like a wow factor when anybody comes there. So fortunately, now I live here, and I'm very, very blessed to live in this house, which has so much of positive energy. And we opened this house for people to come and see how mud houses can also be modern and luxurious, and they can build such houses for themselves. So to promote sustainable living and sustainable architecture, we opened this house as a private museum only for day visits.
Oh, that's fantastic. I remember when you called me that you have moved there, and I was so emotional about it. I was crying. I said, I cannot believe it. This is just such a dream. So it helps to really follow your dream because you got it because of the work that you do. You earned that. So that was because the imposter syndrome gets out the door with that. Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned recently in a post.
Yeah, and I can see that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yes, yes. So just that I was saying that my journey has been slow if somebody sees it in numbers, but it has been very blissful, very impactful, and the house finally is like a blessing which we received as a result of the work maybe which I was doing with full honesty and full like a good intent. So yeah.
Yeah, authenticity and intention. Yeah. So one of the reasons
Yes.
that we connected recently was a post that you did about investing and about wealth, and of course we have our own method about creating wealth. And personally, I don't think you can create wealth without sharing it. So I wanted to get your opinion about what do you think is wealthy? What do you think is create the wealth creation process? How do you view yourself in that process?
So for me, like wealth is not just having a lot of money in your bank or maybe being the person with the most amount of money. Like for me, success or being wealthy is not a definition where you have a large amount of money with you. A wealthy person is like, that's my definition. A wealthy person is somebody who has a good night's sleep, who when the person is sleeping, like this is an Indian phrase which I had heard in my child, that when you're sleeping you should not have any tensions, no worries, no guilt, no regrets. And and you should sleep in a way that okay, even if I die the next moment, I will be very happy and satisfied with my life. So wealthy for me is that, and as on a personal level, on a company level, it is about, so since the vision of our company is environment conservation, um, any decision we take in the company, the planet should be the first priority in that decision. So all the decisions we have been making over last 10 years, in every decision, the veto power should be, because whether will it be positively impacting the planet or will it be harming the planet. So for me, wealthy in terms of the company is that And yeah, money of course is very important, but money is just an instrument. Money is never the end goal. And maybe the way we were brought up by our parents, we never like, despite when I was doing activism and we didn't have a lot of money, I remember days where we literally didn't have money enough to buy food, and we were depending on some very cheap street food to fill our stomach. We have seen those bad days also in our life. And today whatever we are is our own effort. We are not somebody where we come with a privilege background of lot of wealth in our family and we're just taking it forward. No, whatever we have established, be it my brother, my sister, me, or my husband, we have done it from our own effort. Everything is a labor of our own sweat and effort. So, of course, we need money, because money is the instrument in the current society and the world, the global world, where if you want to do anything, I still remember this statement of yours that if you really want to make more impact, you need more money. So I realized that the real meaning of that, but that doesn't mean that I will be just running like a rat, like that rat race of running after money. Somebody is carrying the money and you're just running after it blindly. So yeah, that is how I define wealth.
That's so interesting. I learned so much in the podcast. I never heard the consideration of the planet as a stakeholder, and I think it would be so important if we started to consider the planet as one of our investors. I think that's a very, very powerful statement for podcast. Thank you. So, so
Yeah, and also just one thing, that because why planet, and it's no longer a choice. It's no longer whether we want to conserve planet or not. And the planet doesn't need us at all. Like, it is only we who
yeah,
need the planet to survive. So all the decisions from now or from future, they have to be taken considering the conservation of the planet. Otherwise, we will not have space to survive. So it is no longer a choice thing that, okay, I am doing something on environment, so I should be conscious. Anybody doing anything on any domain, any sector, need to be conscious if they want to survive on this planet. Otherwise, maybe we'll also get extinct like some like dinosaurs a few years later.
yeah. Well, at least there's the awareness before, and not only the awareness. There's some vehicles, so people look at you and say there is a vehicle, and I'm sure a lot of people that have the hotels or the touristy places that you promote at Ecoplore, I'm sure that they would think, hey, it's good that somebody recognizes what we do as something very unique and very important and pleasurable and sustainable. So it's a whole bunch of combinations, not just talking, but also doing. So thank you for doing that. Yeah, yeah. I
It's
have a friend of
pleasure.
mine who went to a tour that you organized. I remember, yeah, Matt and Anita.
And Anita, yeah.
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 So let me wrap this up with a very philosophical and deep question. I don't know if you know this. Most of our listeners have heard this. When I was 13, I fell off a horse and I was in coma and I died. And then I came back and I was like, oh my gosh, uh, I have
Okay.
I have this privilege. I don't feel bad about it actually, and it happened a long time ago. But I still remember. It'll get to a day maybe I won't remember. Maybe I won't be here to say that. But since a very, very young age, I had the fortune of knowing that I was going to die, and that this that I had was a gift that was earned every day. So when you mention about going to sleep, feeling no regrets, that's the way I go to sleep. So blessed. Oh, another day. Oh, what a blessing. And maybe I have bad days. I said, okay, well, what a lesson. It's like, oh, I didn't need this lesson. But most of the days, I'm just grateful that I got another day to live. It's so
Yeah.
magical. So my question to you and my question to my guest is, when you're no longer here, who is Perna? What is your legacy? Who are you when you cease to be here?
I think for me, I would just a person who did her bit to save the planet. I will not say save the planet is again a very, I mean, a human oriented thing, but yes, a person who dedicated her life, one, especially when I started my company. Since then, before that, of course, I had other thoughts in my mind. But since last 10 years, when I started Ecoplore, and going ahead in the future, because I'm 100% sure whatever may happen, whether I'll earn, don't earn, I don't, whether we succeed, not succeed, but I'm going to continue doing this till the end of my life. And I am 100% sure about it. So, once, if I'm not here as a legacy, I just want to be remembered as a person who did her bit in making the planet better for humans.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. How do people contact you?
They can, my phone number, or they can go to our website,
Yeah.
ecoplore.com. So it's ECO Eco and PLORE from Explore. So Ecoplore. If they search, just type Ecoplore, they'll get it in the Google.
Prerna, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
No, it is completely my pleasure to talk to you whenever, like anytime we connect, there is, apart from just knowing you, there's a different kind of connection we have when we talk.
There's magic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, pleasure.
So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. After our podcast, we continue talking about the growth of our company, Ecoplore, and they having a construction company. They have a lot of ideas. Prerna recently connected with me again because when she was raising money, I told her she should not raise money from venture capital capitalists that did not share her vision. And I think that was the biggest lesson for her. The first one is that capital is not bad. I had to learn it myself, and I hope you can learn that. But the second is capital should have intention behind it, because capital doesn't make decisions. Businesses don't make decisions, people make decisions, and we cannot separate the person from the business. And we should bring more humanity to businesses. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. I hope you get to go and visit Ecoplore and see the amazing companies or hotels or hostels or bed and breakfast that Prerna has. She started meeting them as a journalist, meeting the people that had these amazing structures that nobody knew, that were very small, and it has continued to grow. And thank you so much for being here with us. It's been a pleasure. This is your host, Alicia Castillo Holley, and I'll see you in the next Wealthing episode. Thanks for tuning in to our Wealthing Talks. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. To stay connected, visit us at wealthing.com. This is Alicia Castillo Holley, your host, and until next time, yours in Wealthing.